Guys, I had a weird thing happen to me last night with my girlfriend. We were going to bed, we were sleeping. She was sleeping. I was like holding her because I have to hold her until she falls asleep, and then I have to get my arm out from under her and get comfortable so I can sleep. So as I was doing that, she just rolls over and says, "I'm sorry we're not compatible." And I'm like, "What?" And she goes, "What?" I go, "Were you just dreaming?" She's like, "No." And I just rolled over for the rest of the night and just stayed awake the entire night like, how are we not compatible? Like thinking this entire time, like you don't realize how many times your roommates get up to piss during the night when you're up all night going, how are we not compatible? And like the next morning, like I talk to her, like immediately I wake up earlier than her and make her breakfast because I'm like, I'm gonna make this compatibility shit work because she's the only one that wants me at this point. I need to keep her. I make her breakfast and then I'm like, hey, about this compatibility thing, and she's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, last night you're like, I'm sorry that we're not compatible. She's like, I don't remember saying anything. Like, oh, I'm like, were you talking in your sleep? She's like, oh, yeah. I talk in my sleep a lot. I'm like, fuck, how do you not tell me that in the last year and a half that we've been together? Like, I've never heard her but it's just relationship shit. Like, there's something subconscious I gotta get in there and find out, like, what's not compatible? Is my dick too small? Do you want me to put it somewhere else? I don't know what's happening here. Tell me, god damn it. I don't feel too bad. I'm a little bit mad at my girlfriend because she reminded me, my birthday is coming up in a couple weeks. And I'm not happy. I'm not looking forward to it because I'm gonna be 38 years old. Basement full of strangers. I'm gonna be 38 years old. And I'm kind of sad about that because here I am talking to a smattering of people in a basement on a Thursday night, and I'm like, I'm upset that I'm gonna be 38. And she's like, don't think of it that you're gonna be 38 years old. Just think of it as your 17th anniversary of being 21. I'm like, I'm going to fucking drown you in a tub. That is not making anybody feel better about themselves. When you think, oh yeah, 17 years ago, I was 21. 17 years ago, I thought I had the life by the balls. 17 years ago, I should have killed myself. That was it. That was my peak right there. I'm glad you agree with that. Guys, can we just agree that pumpkin spice is just cinnamon? The end. Stop getting excited. It's just cinnamon. What? There's nothing, like you don't dry out a pumpkin and be like, that's spice pumpkin. No, they did put cinnamon on a pumpkin to make it taste like pumpkin. It's just cinnamon. You're spending extra money for shit. No? Okay, I tried. Going up early is awesome. I had another interesting situation happen. I bumped into, I still hang out with people from, like, in high school. Like, I still hang out with, like, my ex-girlfriends from high school, which is, it's just weird. It's not weird. I mean, we've just been friends for so long. So I was up in New York, and I'm visiting them, and she's out. It's a whole barbecue situation. So her family's there. We're having a good time, and her daughter comes up to me and says, you used to date my mom. And I'm like, ugh. Like, how do you have this conversation with a 7-year-old, right? And I'm like, yeah, that was a long time ago that I dated your mom, right? I figured I handled that like an adult. And then she goes, you cheated on my mom. And I'm like, a little disappointed that your mother told you that. And I'm like, no, I don't think I cheated on your mom. I don't think I should be having this conversation with you. And then she looks at me and she goes, don't worry, she cheated on you too.
Boop, boop. I want to come in one time, one show. I want to come into like a strip club intro, like, hey, next coming to the stage, it's Zach Burke. He has no tits whatsoever. And then like American Woman starts playing. American Woman, how'd you wait for me? American Woman, it's so scary. That's as good as it gets. I went on, I got this job and they keep putting it off. They keep telling me, oh yeah, you're gonna start this job. Yeah, tell that to my bank account, okay, dickhead? So, I got this job, and like I had to go on several interviews. I had to go on like a group interview where I sat in a big like cavalcade room, and they asked us a bunch of stupid fucking questions like, "Hey, if you were a sport, what sport would you be?" Is this gonna effectively help me stock shit on a shelf? No! Fuck! I don't know. Baseball. I don't know. I'm the punter on the football team. I don't know. Whatever the least damaging sport would be. Curling. I'm curling. I'm fucking curling, okay?
How's it going, everybody? Good to be here. Let me ask you this. Has anybody else noticed that Hillary Clinton and Korean dictator Kim Jong-un share the same wardrobe? Anybody else ever notice that? Is it just me? Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Let me ask you this. Has anybody else faked having Asperger's so you could tell a stranger to fuck off and not be nice to someone? Has anybody else done that? Or is it just me? Let me ask you this. Does anybody have a coworker that if they were to code right in front of you, everybody would fake having actual work to do so you wouldn't have to try to save him? Not because he's a bad person or anything, but you're just not sure if your vaccinations are up to date? Has anybody else done that? Maybe it's just me. Let me ask you this. Has anybody else had a dream about their ex-wife dating a midget and you're glad because she's finally getting the short end of the stick? Is it just me? All right. Let me ask you this. Is everybody sick of me? Let me ask you this question. Yeah, because I don't have any more. You know what else I don't have? I don't have any kids of my own. You're welcome. That's my contribution to society, not polluting the earth with this gene pool here. My family's got problems. I don't know if you guys heard this or not, but 1 in 6 people around the world now are Chinese. 1 in 6. So my stupid racist brother's freaking out because he already has 5 kids and his wife's pregnant again. And if you understood the math on that, there's a pretty good chance you're Chinese.
Come on. I'm just kidding. I just moved in with my girlfriend. Yeah, thank you, which means I just moved like 7 bags of laundry over to her house. And now I'm just like, here, you deal with my shit. I moved in. We're in. We're doing it.
I was never really good at taking tests. I wasn't good in school. One time, I won concert tickets on the radio, and the radio DJ was like, just tell everybody where you won these tickets. And I blanked immediately. I was like, Can you give me like multiple choice? I think if you give me multiple choice, I'll definitely get this right. Can I say you guys? Is that appropriate? You guys did. No, not good? Okay. But I wasn't good at taking tests. I wasn't good so much in elementary school. See, I wasn't good so much that that they sent me to get tested in elementary school for like ADD. But this was back in the 90s before they just threw Adderall at the problem. You actually had to get tested. And it turns out that they thought I just wasn't challenged enough. So instead of Adderall, it probably would have helped. They gave me tougher classes, marked me as being academically gifted. So, yeah. And then I got kicked out of the academically gifted program in the 5th grade for cheating on accelerated reader tests. Anybody remember those? Yeah. Had a nice little scheme going to where I would just pay the smart kids, because I'm in the smart class now, to take their test, turn right back around and log in with my name and take the test again. Yeah, but you can't trust those little smart bitches. They ratted me out quick. They took my money and ratted me out. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. Found a note on my car outside of work not too long ago. I was like, cool, I got a little note, got a little secret admirer. It said, I like 'em husky. Does the carpet match the cock? First of all, you caught my attention. Second of all, what the fuck? And third of all, where do we go from here? Am I supposed to put an equally clever but equally mysterious note on my car and hope you come and pick it up? Like, I like 'em mysterious. Does the smile match the areolas? I left that note on my car, and I just had to read it when I got back out because she didn't come. She didn't come pick it up. So I don't know where I'm going with that. I guess I'm just gonna keep leaving notes day in and day out and hope that someone picks it up. Yep. You ever realize that you're too high to be in public, but it's too late to do anything about it because you already walked in the door at Little Caesars? And the lady behind the counter at Little Caesars mumbled something, and you have weed paranoid mind, so you snap at her like, hey, I had a stressful day, I have a stressful job. If I want to go home and smoke weed illegally, then that's what I'm gonna do. And then she was like, I'm sorry, I just said, can I take your order? And I was like, oh, we are on two different wavelengths right now. The mom next to me like clutched her kid a little bit closer. I was that kid's dare. I was his first introduction to the DARE program. Like mom was like, don't do that, son. But I have a pattern. Like I go to places, like the only thing I want to do when I get high, obviously, is go get something to eat. So one time, I need to keep food at home because I can't venture out in the public and get it. One time I went through the Taco Bell drive-thru, and I think afterwards I did some research when I wasn't as high. I realized my total was like $6.25. I just handed the lady $17. Like, this is your part of the job. I don't know how to do this. But she, perfect pro move on her part. She kept all $17 and just looked at me with that face like, you tell me how much I owe you and I'll give it to you, all right? I was like, well played, well played. Maybe you do earn $15 an hour, or in this case, $17 an hour.
I know you guys are younger than I am, so I'm gonna speak to you like your dad, okay? What the fuck? Why does no one think toilet paper is like the most important commodity in the entire world? Toilet paper, we use it every day. My wife calls me on the phone from the store. She's like, "Do we need toilet paper?" I was like, "Yes, every fucking day." You can buy as much as you want. You can never buy too much toilet paper. If you guys run out of toilet paper, who are you blaming? Your RA? Your dad because he didn't buy toilet paper? Your mom because she didn't call and ask your dad if we need toilet paper? Like, we need toilet paper. Like, I think toilet paper it should have its own room. Like, you have mud rooms in your house, washer and dryer rooms. You should have an entire room that's just stocked full of stocked toilet paper. From floor to ceiling, you should have hundreds and hundreds of rolls of toilet paper. And when you sell a house, it should be a bargaining chip. You should use the toilet paper room like you use the drapes on the windows and all the appliances in the kitchen. Jesus Christ, you can get a new stainless steel refrigerator. You can't get a room full of toilet paper. You can go 7 days without water. You cannot go 7 days without toilet paper. You get crust butts. It's like a little dried crust. It itches. Anyone else have hemorrhoids in here? I have hemorrhoids. I got them when my wife was pregnant. A lot of dudes gained sympathy weight. I gained sympathy hemorrhoids. They're kind of cool though. I think they're God's gift to humanity. Because he's like, you know what? The world's going to be shitty. So I'm going to give you this little bulge that grows either inside or outside of your butt. And when you scratch it, it's like a little piece of heaven. If you catch it just right, it is a little piece of heaven. Like, you'll stay on it way longer than you should. But there's a fine line between piece of heaven and please somebody call 911. Because I think this thing bursts. I like giving old advice. That's what I'm here for you guys for. I remember an old dude one time gave me some advice when I was 20 years old at a bar. And I'm going to pass this along to you. I was sitting there at a bar at downtown Wilmington. When I moved here in 1992, there were 3 bars. I was at one of them. Okay, now there's 400 bars. But I was sitting in a bar and this old dude was down and he was like 85 years old having a beer. right? And I'm assuming it might be me in the future. I don't know. But he just turned to me for no reason and goes, hey, a cold glass of water and a piece of pussy will kill you. And he didn't say anything else. And I don't know what the fuck he meant. It sounded like he knew what he was talking about. Like somebody had probably been on their deathbed and told him that same thing. And he was like just giving me that advice. I don't know what he meant. I don't give a fuck what he meant. All I know is I've never had simultaneously a cold glass of water and a piece of pussy. Because I don't know what's going to happen. I always have room temperature water after sex. Thank you guys. Have a sweet night.